Good morning. Welcome back to the Red Mic. September 3rd. It's Wednesday. Red Mic messages are leadership and life lessons I've picked up from 25 years as a public servant, 16 years as a youth football coach and scouting volunteer, and 10 years as a mediocre athlete with far more heart than actual physical ability. Today's Red Mic message: Dupree meets 2025 skills, with a little Scott Adams thrown in for good measure. Before I jump in, Scott Adams runs through a lot of what I think. I've been following him for a couple, 3 years now. He's got a live stream every day, Monday through Friday, Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week, 365 days of the year. The only time recently that he has not been going live is when cancer has caused him issues where he can't. He's fighting prostate cancer, and he's in my prayers a lot. But I've learned a lot from him, and I'm going to talk more about these things. But building a talent stack, systems over goals, reframing your brain. You've heard me say that before. Taking a regular idea and maybe looking at it just a little bit differently and try to figure out, okay, how do I make this work for me instead of being a detriment? Uh, Common example is the smoke alarm starts doing that chirp thing at 2:30 in the morning. Old Patrick would have been, can't believe I've got to get up and grumble, grumble, grumble. I've reframed that. I'm thankful for the chirp, because that chirp lets me know that everything's working the way it's supposed to. That chirp is a reminder to me not only to change those batteries, but to keep my own batteries charged, because you never know what's going to happen. And that transitions into a Dupree-ism. Remember the movie You, Me, and Dupree, where Owen Wilson's character gave us his rules for life. Yeah, it ended up in a self-help book, but I don't know that it really should have been, but it is packed with truth. Dupree said, be adaptable, be true to yourself. Don't get tied down too early. Find your nests, and to remember that life is a series of opportunities. I'll get to the payoff pitch on Dupree later, but Scott Adams and Dupree and Justin Meacham. You've heard me mention Justin Meacham a lot. I was looking through a bunch of Justin's stuff the other day, and then just all of a sudden, it was that road to Damascus moment. It all just, oh, well, that relates to Dupree. Oh, that relates to Scott Adams. So let's blend all that together. You take any one of these, and I think they make a solid component for your life. But put them all together, and really great opportunity for some growth. Let's jump in. We'll talk about Scott Adams first, and then we'll weave the others in there. How about that? Systems, not goals. Now, Scott Adams says goals are going to let you down. You either win or you lose. It's very binary. Systems, however, are repeatable habits that keep you moving. Meacham has a similar idea. He talks about thinking in systems. Dupree, he'd say roll with the punches. The point is, stop chasing a finish line. Run a race every day. Yeah, you can have little small goals along the way, but ultimately, there is no ultimate life goal, because there's always another thing in the future. It's like Matthew McConaughey's Oscar speech a few years ago. Have that talk with your future self. If you haven't seen that speech, look it up. I'll try to post it in the comments later. Number 2, talent stack. Scott Adams says you don't need to be world class at one thing. You need to be good, and solidly good, at a mix of a lot of things that make you unique, that make you formidable, that make you of value to anybody's team. I've tried to do that in my life. Started off in radio. I was a DJ. From there, I transitioned into newspapers. From there, I ended up working for my state senator. Now, that throws you in the deep end because suddenly you've got to learn about all of what these different state agencies do because you've got people calling all the time saying, hey, I need trouble with this entity. I need trouble with that entity. I'm having trouble getting my medical license renewed. I'm having trouble with this, that, the other. Causes you to be very adaptable. Constituent services to me is one of the highest functions of government. It's helping your constituents get through the bureaucracy. And you can't do that unless you've got a pretty varied talent stack. And that's the Scott Adams thing. Dupree would say that's finding your Ness. That's your name plus Ness. What is your Patrick Ness? What is your Bob Ness? What is your Jennifer Ness? Figure out what you are at your core, what you want to build on, and that's who you are. Now, Meacham, he says, think like a builder. Use what you've got, stack your skills, and then suddenly all these different average pieces add up to a pretty exceptional hand to have on board, right? And your bosses are going to figure that out. Hey, I need somebody who can write an internal memo. Well, reach out to Patrick. I need somebody who can, talk about XYZ. Well, Patrick can do that. I need somebody to look at this system and figure out why it's not working the way we want it to work. Well, let's talk to Patrick. He's pretty good at logistics. Build your talent stack. Number 3, reframe your brain. I mentioned that a little bit more. Scott Adams talks about reframing it as a way to take the things in your life and twist them a little bit. How you see the problem is sometimes the problem. If you call it a failure, then you're going to stop. If you call it learning, then you're going to grow. And that's Meacham's share the real stuff and learn in public, and it's Dupree's reminder to stay true to yourself. So, what do we have? Dupree says life is freedom, don't get stuck. Meacham says work is speed and clarity, so don't drift. Build, share, and adapt. And Scott Adams, success is a process. Stack your skills, build your systems, reframe the world. So don't drift like Dupree. Don't just grind through checklists like Mr. Meacham might want you to do. And don't wait on a goal to just magically happen. Build systems that move you forward. Stack your talents into something that's uniquely yours and uniquely valuable, and reframe obstacles into opportunities. Do that, and you're going to be adaptable, authentic, and unstoppable. Stay loose, stay liquid, laugh a lot, but be ready. Thank you, Mr. Dupree, for those words of wisdom. And that's what Dupree is saying that he's doing with his life's little pod. So stay nimble until you get that call from the mothership, and then you too can throw 7 different kinds of smoke. And that's today's Red Mike message. I hope you found it enjoyable. I hope you find it interesting. I hope you're able to put some of these things in place in your life. I appreciate you so very much. Happy Wednesday. It's hump day. Go out there, knock the cover off the ball. But before we go, as always, don't forget, life is short. Drink the bourbon. I'll see you later.